I'm Gareth Poole and I'm very excited to be joining the Painted Dog Pack as a full-time guide. So I've been working as a guide for the last 13 years, mostly up here in the Low Veld. I started my career with And Beyond. They have a fantastic training course that they run at one of their reserves down in KwaZulu-Natal called Rietspruit Private Game Reserve. I did my training there, and my second phase of training was finished up here in the Low Veld at Ngala, which is in the Kruger National Park. So I worked there for a couple of years, then moved down to the Sabi Sand, worked there for pretty much the rest of my career, before going out on my own and private guiding for the last year, which has led me to operate in other countries outside of South Africa, which has been an amazing privilege and something I've always wanted to do. So I've led private safaris predominantly up in East Africa, but also Botswana and in Zambia. I got into wildlife photography again thanks to my dad. He's always loved it. He obviously used to take photographs with film, but you know, cameras have changed and we now have digital cameras, which are amazing because we can just keep snapping away. And I think you'd be quite foolish as a guide working in an area as amazing as this to not take up the opportunity to photograph wildlife out here. And for me in particular, it was the leopard. Anybody who knows me will know that I'm absolutely crazy about leopards. They fascinate me in so many ways, their beauty, but also their elusive nature, their power, their strength. And so for me, I love tracking leopard. And I also enjoy the tracking side of it. It's something as a guide you don't often get exposed to enough. We have trackers that we work with, incredible trackers in a lot of these private reserves where we operate, and they generally do most of the tracking. So for me, I love the opportunity to get down on foot and track leopard. And there's nothing more rewarding than finding one of those elusive cats, and when you find it and can get a photograph of it, it's just incredible. I think for me the most important part of a guest's experience is leaving Africa knowing that they just had the most incredible time, lots of fun, got the photographs that they wanted, but with a deeper understanding of how Africa and its wildlife operates and how important conservation is, for me, is probably the most important aspect. I think what really excites me the most about joining PDTV is firstly working with some really incredible young minds, but also experienced minds that have really shaped the way that safaris are operating in a big way. But also for me, it's also to be operating on a reserve where my family has lived for over a decade is just, you know, it's pure gold to be able to operate on this special place that I call home. And that means that I get to spend more time at home with my wife and son, which is really, really special. But what I'm very excited about is with joining Painted Dog, I will be able to use my knowledge and skills to good use in the virtual safaris and also the private safaris that I will be planning and leading in the future. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Painted Dog TV. You're out on the Rietspruit Game Reserve with myself and Ashley, who's sitting behind me. She's on camera. She's also acting as my spotter this afternoon. We're out searching for cats with spots, everybody. We had a sighting of the two young male cheetah in this area yesterday afternoon. And myself and Ashley have been searching high and low and haven't had any joy as of yet, no tracks. And the probable reason for that is that our 3 resident male lions also walked through this area last night on their night patrol and probably spooked the cheetah. But we were confident that we were still going to find signs, but so far nothing yet. So we'll keep searching. A beautiful water hole up ahead where we're headed to next to see if there's any sign of them around there. It's also a fantastic area for leopard. But yeah, big welcome to everybody here with me on Painted Dog. I've officially now joined Painted Dog TV as a full-time guide, and very honored and very excited. So yeah, Welcome everybody. Lots of general game tracks moving up and down this road to and from the waterhole where we're headed. Also really hoping we might get lucky with some rhinos. A fantastic population of white rhino on the reserve, a couple of black rhino too, and they may have possibly made their way towards this waterhole for their afternoon drink. Thanks, Michael. I've just read your post there. Thanks very much, bud. Yeah, it's awesome to be part of the team, part of the pack. Really, really cool, especially called home. It's such a privilege, really. To know this my place of work. Okay, let's see if we can get around Siekwi. I think we're going to struggle at Siekwi, Ash. If we're breaking up already. How are we looking now? So you'll be able to see the water down below here, everybody. This is where we used to cross through this little point in a stream that feeds the waterhole that I wanted to come and have a look at. I just wanted to come down here and quickly have a look for any tracks of the cheetah and or leopard. No signs of any of those cats coming down here. We'll work our way around the dam, everybody. Hoping that our signal is going to hold. We'd love to show you this beautiful waterhole. Might be some interesting bird life around the water at the moment as well. Sorry everybody, I do apologize. I know there's a whole bunch of lovely comments and questions. I've just been having slight issues with my connectivity. Hello Mary, hello Connie. Hi Stacy. How's the weather in Texas? Pretty damn good out here right now. We're in the middle of our winter. We're just spoilt with our climate out here in South Africa. Although I suspect Ashley and I are going to be a little bit chilly a little bit later this afternoon. Temperature drops pretty quickly around here. You'll notice how slow the junction in the roads. These cats frequently walk along these roads, using it because it's just the path of least resistance, but they'll often, at a junction, spray their urine up against the trees, which is one of the ways they mark their territory. It's past missions. Oh, just had a beautiful heron fly off. Let's go park down next to the water's edge. Let's see if we can spot any other of the water bird species. It's incredible to see this water hole so full. There's loads of elephant tracks around here. The elephants came and drank here yesterday afternoon by the looks of things. Copy. Apologies for the breakup. Andy, how are we looking now? Awesome. Great view back over the dam from here. Get a fantastic view of the Drakensberg Mountains in the background from here as well, everybody. We are spoilt with the most, well, firstly iconic mountain range, one of the most iconic mountain ranges in South Africa, but also just this incredible view that we constantly have here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. And of course the beautiful waterhole, which hasn't attracted too much wildlife yet this afternoon. But it is certainly a beautiful, peaceful spot. It's always a good opportunity when you switch the vehicle off like this to also hear the alarm calls of a number of different species that will sound the alarm when they've seen a predator. Monkeys, baboons, birds, different antelope, all with their own different sets of alarm calls that we have learned to recognize and help us in finding the cats that we so sorely seek out in this area. At the moment, we've just got a whole bunch of ringneck doves flying to and from the trees across the water. But no alarm calls as of yet. We're going to keep going from here, everybody. Keep searching for any signs of the wonderful animals that occur in this area. Ash, I don't appear to be getting updates on the channel. I don't know if you can maybe try and assist me with that. Just unplug it there. Okay, copy. Thank you. Mary, I see you've just posted something about the giraffe cam. We're actually going to be heading up that way to see if there's any sign of the cheetah possibly going that way for a drink today. There's a private airstrip on the reserve, everybody, which is not too far from here now, which we want to go and have a look at and just see if the cheetah haven't headed up that way. They like big open spaces, and there's certainly a lot of that around the airstrip. There's also that small little water hole that's close to the airstrip. They may have headed that way for a drink. I'm going to go check that out now. Cookie, my thoughts exactly. Where are the cats? Oh, there's a monkey. Oh, and a baby monkey, Ash. Can you see it there? Oh, it just dropped down. There's one further off to your left. Yeah. It's still up in that tree where you were, just to the left there. These are the vervet monkeys, everybody, that we've found here. And as I mentioned before, with the alarm calls, these monkeys have incredible eyesight, and of course spend a lot of time at the top of the trees while they feed on a variety of fruit and insects and flowers. And while they're up there, they'll easily spot a predator on the move, and then they sound the alarm, this chirping alarm call that you can hear from quite a distance actually. So the vervet monkeys are our friends for many reasons. They're a lot of fun to watch, they're very entertaining. But they also will help us in finding these predators on a regular basis. Two youngsters having a chat together up here in the sun. They've got a pretty damn good view from up there. Please don't be alarmed by what you are witnessing with that vervet monkey. It's just cleaning itself. They pick up a lot of parasites, as you can imagine, when they move through the bush. Lots of ticks. So they groom themselves, but they also allogroom, so they groom each other, which is one of the benefits of living in big family groups like this. Is they'll groom each other, keep each other clean of those parasites. Having a good scratch. Somebody just asked or posed a statement saying that I think vervets are a bit smaller than baboons. Quite a lot smaller, yes. The Chacma baboon, which is the baboon species that we get in this area on the Rietspruit, are much larger. Almost 5 times the size of a vervet monkey. They seem to coexist quite happily. The vervet monkeys and the baboons, they pretty much stay out of each other's way. But of course, if it came to it, the baboons would completely dominate the vervet monkeys. There you go. Exactly what we've just spoken about, that allo grooming. They are certainly very entertaining, intelligent little creatures. I've seen a whole bunch here now as well. There's at least 20 of them. Their family groups can get really large, sometimes up to 40 in a single troop. Alright everybody, I think we're going to love and leave the vervet monkeys to their sunbathing up here and head up to that airstrip, see if there's any sign of those cheetah
Third man on Blowbump.
Just checking the airstrip here very carefully for tracks of those cheetah. No, so far no signs. This is the, it's a private airstrip, which is used by the farm owners, the people that own this part of the Rietspruit Game Reserve. They have their own plane, so sometimes when they come to visit the air camp on the property, they'll fly in and land on this airstrip. Quite convenient. That's correct, Mary. It was also built or made larger because it had always been here. But they did up the airstrip, cleaned it up nicely, made it wider for the filming of one of Tom Cruise's films. He was actually here in our hometown of Rietspruit, flying a whole bunch of different planes, filming these planes for a movie that he was releasing. I'm not entirely sure which movie it was. But it turns out they built the airstrip and then he hardly ever used it. Or like I say, revamped it. But the owners were paid for it and they scored because they now have a perfect runway for their own plane. Jive Bunny, to answer your question, yes we are. We are still searching for those cheetah. Although to be honest, I think if they had come this far north in our reserve, we probably would have found their tracks already. They often use the road network. And I've now driven course.
Sandy on number 3.
Oh, sorry, hello. I think third man was number 1, so it would be number 3, thanks.
We were treated to of 3 white lost to a hole where we're headed next. We found them just before they actually got to the water hole, and we followed this bull, a cow and her calf. So then wandered down to the water's edge, had a drink, and then we watched them as they walked away after that drink. Just incredible. So fingers crossed we might get lucky with something like that down here again this afternoon. Ashley, everybody's telling you to hold on. Yeah, no, Brent's a cowboy. He's a madman. Although I suppose if there's a sighting we need to get to, you will need to hold on to. There you go. Ashley's just saying, if a leopard is located or I get a sniff of a leopard, then we do the low-flying Ferrari safari. For those who haven't been on drive with me before or don't know me, I am crazy about leopards. Just the most incredible cats, most photogenic cats, and certainly very elusive cats, and I get a thrill out of finding them because of the challenge. I reckon we were pretty close to one last night. Just missed it. We had some monkeys, vervet monkeys, alarm calling. Myself and Andrew went crashing through the bush, found the monkeys, but no leopard, no sign of any predator thereafter. But my gut tells me there was definitely a leopard there. Just going to quickly check this intersection for any tracks.
Going mobile on Ledwood. I have completed this. Thank you. Previous caller did not compliment.
Nothing to write home about just yet. Lots of wildebeest and zebra tracks coming through here today. But none of the, what we often refer to as high profile game. although we are very fond of wildebeest and zebra. Oh, there we go. Ashley's already got her first jacket on, everybody. A telltale sign of temperature dropping. Such a beautiful time of day as we approach sunset. But of course, it does get quite chilly. Fresh.
Mobile on Leadwood, any updates, please?
That's line. There is two, yeah. Oopsie. Awesome set of tracks here, everybody, that Ashley spotted. Two different cats. Now this tells me that we were definitely close to a leopard, because it was just up ahead here where we had the monkey's alarm calling. And you'll see over here the two different sets of tracks, everybody. So there's actually a whole bunch of tracks here. So which ones? These ones. So this smaller track over here, everybody, is of the leopard, a female leopard. And we can tell that on size. And this track over here is of a lioness. And it's amazing to see those two tracks next to each other. Female lion, female leopard. Vastly different in size. These lionesses will get up to 150 kilograms, so close on 300 pounds. These female leopards, maximum of 45 kilograms or 90 pounds. So there's a big, big difference in weight and in size of paws. And I don't know if you can see these other smaller tracks back here. There's a number of tracks going up and down here. This tiny little set over here are of a genet, and then this smaller set of tracks going up this way are of a jackal. But yeah, really, really cool to see these tracks, neither of which are very fresh. There's a number of ways that we can tell how fresh tracks are. Firstly, by looking at how crisp the track is itself, but also how much sand has been blown into the track from the winds that have come through the day. What other creatures have also walked over the track often give us clues. And I can see on one of the tracks back here, one of the lion's tracks, that a white-tailed mongoose has actually walked over that lion's tracks. White-tailed mongoose are a mongoose species that are only active at night. So the tracks of this lioness are from sometime probably yesterday, maybe even the day before, because the white-tailed mongoose tracks are fresher on top of her tracks. But the leopard tracks are pretty good. These are from last night. They would have hardened already, a little bit on the tips of, or the edges of the toes. The soil was quite moist still when this leopard walked through here. We had a bit of rain, not last night, the night before. And she's walked on top of the sand when it was still a bit soft from the rain. Now, because those tracks are not very fresh, everybody, we aren't going to follow them. We're going to continue heading towards the dam, the waterhole which I mentioned, which is not too far from here, and just see if any of those rhino might be having a drink. This is their time, the sort of time that they come down and have a drink. Rhinos like to drink twice a day, at least. Very dependent on water, so they usually drink both morning and evening. Oh, sorry about that. I see somebody else was mentioning that there was another track close to the vehicle. I missed that one. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Thought I saw some movement in there. Eyes have got to be on a swivel out here. The grass is still quite tall, and most of these cats, if they're lying down, if they were lying down on their side, you wouldn't even see them. But if they were lying down with their heads up, watching us, they'll pick up on the sound of the vehicle as we get closer. They'll often put their heads up and look at the vehicle. Sometimes all you'll get is just the tips of the ears or maybe a flick of a tail.
Please give me a number. Kevin, I think you'll be number 3 again. Okay, copy, thanks. So that elephant sighting still active?
Interesting. Hey, these lionesses definitely came down here last night. Yeah, I was trying to have a look and see if there's more than one set of tracks. But it appears there's only one lioness that came down here, so quite possibly hunting. Our pride of lions that we have here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve consists of 6 lionesses. And when you're only seeing one set of tracks, it's very often because they've split up. These lionesses, when they hunt, will often split up in trying to ambush their prey. But the tracks, again, are not fresh. Awesome to see the signs of all the predators though. I'm just going to stop here so that Ashley can show everybody the rhino dung, which is just either side of the road here. In particular, white rhino. White rhino, well, both white and black rhino are territorial, and that's the bulls. They demarcate these territories by using rhino middens, a point where they will regularly drop their dung and then often kick open the dung and spread their dung to leave their scent behind to demarcate territory. This looks like it may have been the start of a rhino midden. The dung that Ashley's zoomed in on now would probably not be the bull's, however. So what happens is any other rhino that pass a bull's midden will defecate around the periphery of where he has been marking consistently over the years while he's held his territory. And so what happens is this becomes actually a very important communication post for rhino. They will be able to find each other through their scent of the dung that they leave behind. So a bull will come walking along here, he'll mark his territory, which he's been doing here on the right-hand side of the road, and then he would go across and smell the dung of whichever other rhino it was that came past his midden, and he'll actually then be able to follow their scent from this point. He'll be able to recognize their scent. There's often a bit of urine mixed into the dung as well, and he can then find the other rhino by following that scent. So really, really important for them. They rely heavily on it. These middens, dung, urine, and their scent in order to find each other, but like I say, for the bulls also to demarcate their territory and to keep other bulls away from their territory. The females, however, the cows, the rhino cows, are not territorial. I see somebody's pointing out all the birds. That's wonderful. Yes. Had the black-headed oriole calling there behind us. That's got to be one of the most beautiful calls out in the bush. The oriole, black-headed oriole. Very liquid call. Goodbye, Trefoil. Thanks for joining us. And yes, really look forward to having you with us again. There'll be lots of drives in the coming weeks. Hope to catch you on one of them soon. Goodbye, Clara. Have a lovely day. Very close to that waterhole now, everybody. It's just up ahead here. Ah, beautiful impala here on the left. Small herd of female impala. Certainly very alert to us. The direction they're headed, they've come from the waterhole, this group of impala. Also having their last drink before it gets dark. See how they all follow each other. They don't want to be left behind. They stick very close together. Always nervous of predators. Impala are one of the animals that are right at the bottom of the food chain. Most of these predators out here will feed on them. Safety in numbers, however. They've got incredible senses, impala. Great eyesight, hearing, and a sense of smell. So with that many of them in a group, it's very difficult for these predators to get close to them. So that's why they like to bunch up and stay close together and don't want to be left behind. You saw them all running off like that. Stay close. To answer the question about the cheetah males potentially siring some cubs, very much so, yes. They are already sexually mature. We've seen them recently laying down scent all over the place, so they are establishing a territory here. And there are a number of female cheetah on the reserve, so fingers crossed they will be mating soon. We'll have more cubs. Fowl, far side of the water hole here. Helmeted guinea fowl also come down for their last drink of the day. Also busy feeding on something around the edge of the water there. Possibly grass seed, could be some little insects that might be moving around on the ground as well that they might be picking at. Is that where you're going? Afternoon, guys. Did I copy there with the cup there? Apologies. Just going to try and roll a bit more forward, more open ground, and settle up. Are there any stations still with the Pride?
There are 2 stations here.
Confirm, are they still stationary on Lodgepan Road, or are they closer to concert site?
Stationary, probably.
Where? The lions? Cop. Yes. Thanks, Birdman. Just busy chatting to one of my colleagues, everybody. The Pride of Lions have been located not too far from here, which is pretty damn exciting. So we're going to try and get you all to go and see this Pride of Lions. We're going to leave these beautiful guinea fowl having their drink at the waterhole and just pick up the pace a little bit. I want to try and get to those lions before we lose all of this beautiful light. A station controlling the Pride. I'd like to make my way there. I'll be in there in the next 10 minutes. Lutu. Not even a track. Not even a track. They must have spooked them, Birdman, because I went right past there and I saw the male lion's tracks there on that Omni hook. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's where I came from. There was nothing there. Back aboard. Have a good afternoon. Oh, my beautiful Sue has joined and is congratulating me on joining the dog pack. Which station was with the partner? There's a 10.
Sorry, I didn't copy, but come on in.
Thanks very much. Sorry everybody, I think I had some gremlins back there. Lost comms a little bit. Auntie Sue, Susie Q, thank you. Very, very excited to have joined the Painted Dog Pack and very excited to see that you're on drive with us this afternoon. That's wonderful. So just to let you all know again, I don't know if you heard earlier, but we are picking up the pace, everybody. Doing a little bit of low flying. The Pride of Lions have been located on Leadwood, which is another portion of this Rietspruit Game Reserve, and we're just going to quickly try get there as fast as we can because we are losing the light, and also this time of the day the Pride very often will start hunting, which would be pretty damn special if we were there with them when that happened. Hold on tight, Ashley. Somebody's going to try drive and carry on watching. That can only be my cousin, Alison. Yes, indeed. Ali, please don't crash the car. Stay safe. So wonderful to have all of you with us here, folks, on the Rietspruit Game Reserve here with Painted Dog TV. And on my home turf. This is my home. It's amazing that I get to call this place home. And that my little son Harrison gets to grow up here. Such a privilege. Just amazing to think how far these lionesses moved last night. That set of tracks we found earlier of that one, maybe even two lionesses completely looking out that way were unsuccessful, and now they've regathered a good 2-3 miles from where we found that set of tracks. Hello Rosemary, welcome to our afternoon drive. Very, very good to have you with us. And thank you, regular. Yeah. Lucky man, lucky family. And yeah, just super grateful to, you know, have this opportunity with Painted Dog. And very excited to share some, I'm sure, incredible moments with all of you in the future, both here on the Rietspruit and all over. Of course, we've got a number of conservation projects that will be happening all over Southern Africa. Myself and Brent will be leading quite a few private safaris with clients out here that we'll be taking to our favorite destinations right across the continent. Special safari. So yeah, lots of very exciting stuff happening at Painted Dog. With that, my beautiful son have tuned in to say hello. Love you guys. Tell Harrison he's about to see some lions, hopefully.
So I'm about 5 minutes out. I'd like to take a standby. How many stations are locked?
There are 2 stations on lock and one other heading in our direction. It takes it beside the river, so it's a relatively open lock.
Thanks, I'll make my way. I'd like to get a standby of the fly pride as well. I'm about 10 minutes out. Mal, I don't point here, I'm not thinking on you, it's just a general conversation about this line sighting. We all trying to get standbys and that's doing the Jace was doing it beforehand. It's all an unnecessary conversation. You know, just simply say you're responding and Hazel and Sight will tell you if you stand by or not, or whether you have to come straight in. Because otherwise we keep having all... Copy that.
Copy that, all.
Thank you, Sandy G. That's very kind of you to say that, and it was wonderful to have you with us. We are very close now, everybody, to where this pride of lions are. I believe just a couple hundred yards up the road here. See that? Suicide display. Red-crested coron. We've just had an amazing view, by the way, everybody, of a red-crested coron, often referred to as the suicide bird, doing its suicide display right over the top of the vehicle here. Right, I think you can all see the other truck in picture already, everybody. So the lions are just up ahead here. Joined the sighting of the Pride as a third station. Hello everybody. Good and you all? think I'm actually just going to move a little bit more forward here, Ashley. Just one big heap of lionesses over here. Wow. What a absolute treat. What a privilege. These beautiful lionesses are still enjoying their beauty sleep. Something they are very, very good at. To answer your question, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, regular. It's just the Rietspruit Pride, really. They don't have a specific name, but because we're on the Rietspruit Reserve, we just refer to them as the Rietspruit Pride. A very healthy pride. So 6 of them in total. And 4 of them are still pretty young. They're the offspring of the 2 oldest lionesses that are in this pride. My auntie Lorna has joined us as well. Thank you, Lorne. Yeah, what a treat, eh? You'll have to come visit us again very soon, Lorna. We can take you out on a drive and spend some time with this amazing pride. Bob, to answer your question about whether they've eaten recently, I think they have, but I don't think a substantial meal. These lionesses will actually kill quite a lot of impala versus larger prey. And just judging by the size of their bellies, they've definitely eaten something in the last 48 hours, but I would imagine it was something small, like an impala, possibly even a nyala, which are also abundant on the Rietspruit Reserve. But it's not confirmed. Nobody's seen them feeding on a carcass for a little while now, but can tell just by the size of their bellies they've eaten something. Look at the size of those paws. Oh, good stretch. Getting comfortable. You'll notice if you look very closely at those paws, everybody, that you actually can't see the lioness's claws. That's because those claws are fully retractable. So those claws actually only really come out when they need them. So whether they're fighting or tackling their prey, they sometimes do sharpen their claws and clean their claws on trees. You'll often see them then as well. But other than that, they stay fully retracted up in the toe and inside that fur that protects their toes. In that way, it keeps those claws incredibly sharp, razor sharp. Wide-eyed, my son Harrison is 2.5 years old, and his favorite animal is a Stegosaurus or a Tyrannosaurus Rex, one of the two. But before he got all excited about dinosaurs, it was probably the rhino, I think. he took a lot of interest in rhino middens and their tracks, and every time I took him on a game drive here, he'd always say to me he wants to see the rhino tracks. And we of course saw quite a few rhino as well. So yeah, he really enjoyed the rhino. All these two lionesses to our left have just set up. Notice the beautiful black fur behind the ears. Oh, look at those canines, look at those teeth. So the black fur behind the ears, they've actually got black fur on the tip of their tails, is how these lionesses will actually follow each other at night, particularly in long grass. The black stands out for them. They can easily pick up on that black fur against their tawny coats. So it's almost like a follow me sign. That's the reason behind that black fur. Hello. Having a good look at us. Yeah, just going to quickly pan across to this incredible sunset that we're busy having right now, everybody. Don't worry, we'll come straight back to the lions shortly. Oh, you can still see them in picture there, that's cool. Such a beautiful setting. Mary, to answer your question, no. Harry has not seen that brand new little baby rhino that we have here on the reserve. I haven't seen it. I'm dying to find it. We will find it. Hopefully next week sometime we'll find that mother and her brand new little calf. So somebody's mentioned that they may have seen blood around the paws. I must say I personally haven't seen it. I'm just having another look now through my binoculars.
The elephants are back on Kaya Southern Fence after Eland, heading east.
Oh yes, there you go. I see it now on the back paws of this lioness. It's resting her paws on top of the other. Clear evidence that they were on a kill last night. These lionesses have been lying here the whole day. They were found here today. I think they were found in this position. So we believe they killed something last night. Maybe where we found that set of tracks earlier, where we thought they were hunting, maybe they were successful in that area and then returned this way. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Bob, I think it's amazing, you know, so many of these little kids go through that dinosaur craze. Oom Dirk. This lioness that's busy grooming herself was the one that was yawning earlier. And both of those are telltale signs of a lioness that's thinking about getting up and moving. May potentially just get up and move over to one of her other sisters, or you never know. Might be thinking about heading back to, there's a small little water hole not far from here. We drove past it briefly on the way here. They may head to that water hole to go and have a drink. Drinking water actually helps these lions with their digestion process. So they're not dependent on water. Most of the water their bodies require actually come from the carcasses they feed on, but they'll often drink water if it's close enough, if it's accessible, like I said, to help with that digestion process. I think for now I'll just take a standby. There's already 3 stations on lock. What is your position?
Approaching on large plans road from the north.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, if you can give me another 5-10 minutes, I'll make space for you. Bob, to answer your question about whether they would hunt again tonight, it's not impossible. They probably won't be in a hurry to do so, however, but these cats are incredibly opportunistic, so they will definitely move tonight. I doubt they're going to move very far, but they will definitely move a little bit tonight, maybe a mile or 2. They'll want to go and drink water, as I mentioned before, but they also patrol their territory on a regular basis every night. So in that movement, if they come across an easy target, yes, they'll kill it, and they'll feed on it because they're not entirely full. They'll feed on it and then just sleep right next to the carcass, and then once they've digested what they've eaten and they've made a bit more space, then they'll go straight back to finishing off that carcass. So it is a possibility, but it's not likely. They've had a good feed, so they'll probably only really be actively hunting again tomorrow night. Now folks, we are going to very shortly have to move out here with the lions. There's quite a lot of interest from a number of the other parties that are operating here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, which is fair enough because this is incredible. So we're going to let some of the other folks come and enjoy a bit of time with these lionesses. But really, really happy that you all got to see them. You can see the other 4 haven't moved. Cheers, Jakes. The same lioness that keeps glancing over at us is definitely thinking about making a move, but I reckon it's probably just to move closer to the other 4 lionesses that are sleeping on the other side.
Station on standby for the pride. You're welcome to make your way. Jake's pulling out. 1 station on lock. Copy that, thanks. So for the time being, everybody, it appears we don't actually need to leave immediately.
A number of the other vehicles have moved on, which is great news. So we're just going to sit tight here. But if one of the other vehicles does show interest, then we'll just move on immediately and let them have a spot here and come and enjoy themselves. Golden-tailed woodpecker calling in the distance. Also a beautiful sound. It's a great pleasure, Bob, and thank you. Yeah, very, very excited to be a part of this awesome team. Great pleasure, Mary. So wonderful to have you with us this afternoon. Have a lovely day.
Station with a Pride, I'm at Lodgepan, may I approach?
Affirm, Birdman, make your way as a third.
Copy.
I'm sure Harry's been loving the lions, although knowing my son and knowing my wife, he might be busy enjoying dinner and very soon jumping in a bath, so he might not be with us anymore. He might not be watching these lions anymore. Yeah, they are truly sound asleep, eh? I think about all the years that I've been doing this, the amount of hours that I've spent watching lions sleep. They are really good at it. Of course, being top of the food chain, they can afford to sleep, so well throughout the day and for so many hours, but they, of course, require this much sleep because of the amount of energy that they expend every night, particularly when hunting. And of course, then digesting, their meal takes a bit of time. These lionesses can put away almost 25% of their own body weight in one sitting, one meal, which is crazy when you consider they weigh 300 pounds. That's a lot of meat. I'm just going to roll back a bit so we can try and have a look at bucket. Even she's starting to fall back asleep. Very, very drowsy. Alright everybody, I think what I'd like to do with our last half an hour of our evening drive is see if we can find that elusive leopard. It's been wonderful having spent a bit of time with this beautiful pride. But they are very sleepy indeed, and we're going to leave them to that sleep. And like I said before, let one of the other vehicles come in and come and enjoy some time with them. What a treat. Cheers, Birdman. Cheers, bud. Have a lucky evening. Shot, man. I will. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Wow, that was really cool. Such powerful, impressive cats, even when they're sleeping. If my wife was still online, she'd be telling me to say exactly those sorts of things. Her and I always have a argument with each other. I'm crazy about leopards. She's absolutely mad about lions. And I always argue with her that lions just sleep all day and leopards are beautiful and are always active and doing something. But they are. The lions are incredible. Good to have them here. Really happy you all got to see them this evening. But now, it's time for my favourite cat. Ashley, you ready? Ready. Yes, Mary, Allison, it is leopard time. So we're actually going to be leaving Leadwood to try and find a leopard. I'm going to be going back onto Blowbunk to an area where we've been picking up quite a lot of leopard activity of late. Around Seskant Krip, this tiny little waterhole. There seems to be quite a lot of leopard movement. It's also really close by to where I saw a caracal a couple of nights ago, which would also be insane if we got to see a caracal. So I've left the pride with 2 stations, a mole in charge, no one else responding. Still stationary, same position. So you'll notice, everybody, all the gear is coming out. Now that we're moving, it's fresh. Very fresh indeed. Amazing how quickly that temperature drops. Have you got gloves, Ashley? No. Oh my word. Now you're making me feel bad. I'll bring you a pair tomorrow. But seriously, if it gets really bad, you can borrow mine.
No, it's fine.
Okay, good. No problem. Connie, it is that time of day. If you're referring to what I think you're referring to. The leopards are active. Patrolling territory, hunting. Maybe we're going to get lucky and bump into one walking along a road. Just want to quickly get down through the next two little riverbeds. The signal might become a bit iffy as we go through these riverbeds, and then we'll be turning onto Blaubank, heading towards the little waterhole I was talking about. I just want to get a little bit closer there and then switch off and just listen, see if we don't get lucky and hear a leopard. Yeah, the temperature does drop fast. As soon as that sun sets, as soon as we lost that sun, it's dropped a couple degrees quickly. But I love it. I love how crisp the air is out here. It's so fresh. And the smell of the bush. Incredible. Becky, to answer your question, what the temperature is right now, I would imagine it's probably about, not too bad, it's probably about 10 degrees, 11 degrees Celsius. I unfortunately don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I always struggle with that conversion. But of course you then add the wind chill factor, because we're in an open vehicle, driving at 15 miles an hour. It's cold enough. Right, I'm just going to switch off here for a couple minutes. Awesome view of this sunset with the mountains, and just listen, see if we don't get, like I say, get lucky with the leopard calling. I also love just listening to the dusk chorus of all the birds as they settle in for the night. They all start calling at this time of the evening.
She's got no hope on her new baby at the reservoir in Limpopo. Okay, copy. They've just crossed the road, Hannah, and they're heading, towards.
Beautiful, so peaceful. I'm going to keep moving, everybody. No leopard calling yet. Just heard some very exciting news over the radio. One of the other vehicles has just located the female rhino with the brand new little baby, or the white rhino. So that's great news to hear that little baby's still alive and well. Unfortunately, a little bit too far for us to get there this evening, especially with the light fading. We tend to leave the rhinos be once it gets dark. It's great to hear that they've found them and that they're doing well. And so yes, hopefully in the next couple of days we'll be able to find them ourselves. Yes, that is correct. A number of crested francolins calling very loud, just announcing to everybody, this is my territory, don't come near it. Which is of course why they're calling, as they settle into their roost.
think they're heading towards the middle.
Copy, here they come in.
There. Too far now, everybody, from the little water hole that I want to stake out for the remainder of our evening. Just going to pull up nearby to it and switch off and see if we hear anything, don't have anything come and approach the water. On my way back home last night, this is the very route that I take. I bumped into another two white rhino that were drinking at this water hole in the dark, which was around 6:30 my time. Copy that. Right, so you'll see the water I'm talking about, everybody. It's just in front of us here. There's regular movement of not just leopard, all of the nocturnal species that come out at night past this waterhole. Not that I've seen them, well, I have. I've seen leopard a couple times drinking at this waterhole, but I see the tracks here every day, just about. Of leopard, lion, caracal, civet. They all regularly come past this little spot. Also often hear leopards calling from this point. So with the last bit of time we have together, I'd like to just sit here and see if we don't get lucky. Look at that sunset. Where? Run. Which way? Dacre. Good eyes. Quiet, eh? So peaceful. Now we just need that leopard to break the silence. That beautiful sawing sound. White-browed scrub robin calling. I know that very well, Alison, and very soon this will be a sunset that you and I will share together. Hello Julie, nice to have you with us. Hello Brian. Just busy sitting, enjoying this incredible sunset, the last bit of light of the day here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Listening to a couple of the last birds calling before they go to sleep, and hoping to hear the leopard close by. Me too, Julie. Better late than never. We had a magic sighting of the pride earlier. They were fast asleep, quite full. They've eaten something last night. We're not sure what they ate, but very fat and happy. I just heard over the radio there's still no change. Someone's just left them 2 minutes ago. They're still fast asleep.
Hello, we'll leave you with them. Sally leaving no hope on her baby, just
Alright everybody, I'm going to slowly drive off here. Haven't heard any leopards this evening. Maybe with our last couple of minutes we might be lucky and bump into one along the road here, coming towards the waterhole. Very special sunset, however. Thank you so much, Becky. Thank you. Yes. Look forward to being out on a safari with you again soon. Alright folks, we're almost at the end of this beautiful afternoon drive. I'd like to thank you all so much for coming out and joining us with Painted Dog TV here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. Get in touch with us. We have lots of safari action coming your way over the next couple of weeks. And we look forward to having you all back here with us again. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for doing a sterling job on camera this afternoon. Thanks, Jan. Thanks, Rich. Thanks very much, bud. Yeah, awesome to be doing these awesome drives with the Painted Dog TV crew on this special place, on this amazing Rietspruit Game Reserve. Have a wonderful evening or a wonderful day wherever you are, everybody. And thanks again for joining us. We'll see you again soon.